Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Redeemed Marriage Podcast. This is Rusty and Heather Bryant. We're so glad to be with you again this week. We've got a fun episode for you today.
Because I get to play with the buttons.
If you're watching on YouTube, you're not going to be able to hear the sounds of the buttons. Buttons, but you will if you're listening on the audio. So wherever you're listening to this, hey, if we haven't reminded you in a while, make sure that you subscribe and follow so that whatever platform you listen to our podcast, you get this every week because we don't miss a week. We are very faithful to make sure that we come and join you in your car, around your house, on your run, wherever you are. We want to join you every Monday. So follow us and subscribe, however you do that. Even if it's on YouTube, make sure you go to YouTube. We've been putting some cool videos, some fun videos on there too. So, but if you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube, you're not going to hear the cool buttons that Heather's going to play with.
You'll be fine.
It's all right.
You'll get the gist.
So today, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at some marriage advice that you might have heard from your grandparents or your parents, or maybe even you've given this marriage advice yourself to people. And maybe it's even marriage advice that you really believe. Mm-hmm. It's okay. We're not putting you down. We're not shaming you.
That's right.
But
we're not even saying we're right.
Yeah, and we don't even know which one of us believes the marriage advice. So we have taken 10...
We, as in you. That's a you.
I have taken 10 really popular marriage advice that you may have heard along the way, and we're gonna do truth or trash.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna say whether or not we agree with this or we disagree, and then we'll share why we feel that way. And we don't know. We haven't gone through this list, so we don't know if it's something that we both agree on or we both disagree on. So we'll see what happens here. All right.
I'm kind of nervous. What if we disagree?
Well, that's okay because because we're on a podcast, we have we have to explain why we agree, and then we'll probably go, oh yeah, well, I see what you're saying there. I see where you're going with that,
and I'll probably be the one that says, oh yeah, you're right every time.
Maybe so. Okay.
Okay, wait. You said that you were going to say it on 3. Is it 1, 2, 3, then we say it, or 1, 2, and we say it?
Yeah.
Which one? Which one?
We're gonna go like this. So I'll say the advice, and then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, boom.
Yeah. Okay.
Truth or trash.
Okay, got it.
Here we go. Ready? The first one is this: never go to bed angry. I'm sure people have heard that before. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, trash. All right. We're having a good time.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so never go to bed angry. Look, here's the thing. I know that there's people out there that religiously live by this.
Well, that's because it says it in the Bible.
Well, yes, it does. It says, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. On your anger, your wrath, and I do think we talk about this a lot of times. We take things in Scripture and we just put it into whatever context we feel like. But here's the part that we. Well, go ahead. Why do you? I almost knocked my mic off.
Okay, so I think it's trash because I know that we tell people a lot and we have to practice that sometimes you just need to take a breath. And a lot of times that breath is resting your mind and going to sleep before you continue a conversation. So if something has upset you or has made you mad and you're tired or it's not a good place or time, then sometimes you just have to go to bed and pray God's peace over you and protection over your mind, and that the thoughts and words that you're going to express are God honoring and not just out of anger.
I think that came along at some point where people, said that about their marriage, because there's this, what if one of us died in our sleep, and we were... And again, chances of that happening very slim. But I also think that there's this, when you have a healthy relationship, there's this maturity of even if we're angry with each other, that doesn't mean that we don't love each other.
That's right.
And so, like, if you go to sleep and you're angry, you're not going to sleep thinking that person doesn't love me anymore. It's just we're not happy with each other right now. And sometimes it's not going to be resolved when you're tired and when you're frustrated. And so you just almost call it a truce and say, hey, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Let's get some rest. And even with sometimes there may even need to be I still love you. It's not that, but we just need to, and that's it. So, hey, throw stones at us if you want to. It's fine. We can take it. We've had plenty of them thrown at us before. All right, here we go. Ready? Second one is this. Marriage is 50-50.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, trash.
We're 2 for 2.
Okay. Well, so I'll jump in here. I mean, the reason why is because we always preach that it's 100-100. And 50-50, I know what that saying is. You know,
everybody's got to
everybody's given their part. True, but nobody's given 50%. I mean, no, people do give 50%, but when you give 50% and you expect to get 50% from the other person and make that add up to 100, that's not good. The math might math in real math, but not in life. And so you have to always be giving 100%, or that's your goal. And you're not going to always be 100%. But if I think the 50-50 thing, there's this expectation of I'm going to do my part and you do your part. And that's not what marriage is supposed to be. Marriage is supposed to be I am all in. I'm giving my all. And then if you're both doing that, wonderful, beautiful marriage. If one's given 100% and the other one's not, it does make for some difficulties and some challenges, and that's where you have to work on things.
Yep. And another thing on this one is you have to give 100% of what you have. And what you have may not always be 100% of your best self. But like when I was going through cancer, like the 100% that I could give was probably 20%, but I was giving everything that I had. So it's 100% of what you have to give. And so if you have seasons where, you have 4 toddlers or toddlers and infants, and you're like, I am whipped at the end of the day, you give the most of what you have to give. 100% of what you have.
Good point. Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Now, at some point, somebody's going to have to agree with some of these, I guess. Okay. Happy wife, happy life. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, trash. Oh, here we go.
Oh, no, that's because I'm the wife that wants to be happy.
Okay, well, why'd you say true on that?
Well, because you're so
I
good
want
to
to
me.
be happy.
No, you're so good to me. And I think you try to make this happen. And you would jokingly say that to our boys too. It's like, if mama's happy, we're all happy.
Yeah.
So
People
yet,
say this one all the time.
Yeah. So why is it trash?
Well, I just think that my goal, I love to make you happy. I want that to be something that's a goal of mine. I also think that my job is not to make you happy.
Correct. That's not what it said.
No, but that doesn't necessarily mean that if you're happy, if all I'm doing is making you happy, does that make, because it says happy wife, happy life.
Does that make
that
your life
doesn't always
happy?
Translate into me being happy.
I told you I would say you're right.
But and also me just constantly trying to make you happy doesn't always necessarily result in you being happy.
But could you look at it as, if I'm doing my part in being happy and making sure my joy comes from the Lord and not expecting that from you, that if I'm doing my part in making my relationship with the Lord correct, and my life is happy and joyful because of that, then your life is going to be better.
If your happiness is not coming from a
you.
dependence of me making you happy, then yes.
Yep.
But I think what this says, what the advice is, make your wife happy and you'll be happy.
Okay, fine. I disagree.
And so that's just not always true.
Agreed.
Because if that's all I'm doing is pouring into you to make you happy, then there's these expectations of me just, I mean,
I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
You are right. I am wrong.
but I will say, when you're happy, I am typically happy.
That's
so
right.
there's that.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Healthy couples don't fight. 1, 2, 3. Trash. Okay.
I had to go up volume on that one because we finally got one right.
I mean, I think that most people would agree with us that conflict is going to happen. So, and again, I think we've had a podcast episode about what's your definition of a fight, because some people's definition of a fight is probably very, very different. And they're like, that's not a fight. But, when there's conflict, I mean, there's going to be conflict, and healthy couples have conflict and they know how to handle it.
Yep. And it's just, two sinners trying to make a marriage work. Like, there's going to be issues, and that's just part of it.
Yep. Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Marriage is hard work. All right. 1, 2, 3. Truth. Okay. Here's the thing.
I'm having so much fun with the buttons.
I almost said trash. But it's because one of our favorite...
Wait, read it again?
Marriage is hard work.
Okay.
I mean, I think in general, we both agree with this statement. It's not, you don't just get married and then live out your days in harmony. It does take work. The reason why I almost said trash, but I knew you were going to say truth. And I knew I had to say truth on at least one of these, so I had to jump in there. But one of our favorite marriage communicators is Ted Cunningham. And he says, instead of saying marriage is hard work, use the phrase marriage takes intentionality. It takes, how does he say it?
Don't be messing up, Ted. Don't be messing
sorry if you're listening. Effort, intentional effort, I think is what he says. It's something like that. But it's basically taking this, we have this negative feeling towards hard work. I mean, especially in today's world, people don't enjoy hard work.
Yeah.
And so to think, oh, Lord, I'm going to get married, then I got to go into doing hard work. No, it takes intentional effort. And I think that's a better way of phrasing it. But yeah, it's not always easy.
Yeah. I think the reason why I said true, and now that you said Ted Cunningham says that's wrong, I really don't want to defend it.
I don't think he says it's wrong. I think he just says,
let's rephrase
it
that's right.
so that it seems
a
little more positive.
Agreed. But what I think is, and this is probably not as hard for you, but hard work for me is denying myself. And denying myself and denying the flesh and trying to put you first. And that's hard work because that's not easy for anybody to do, I don't think. I think that some people have more of a natural bent to be able to do that. But denying your flesh is hard. And I just think it's hard work. And for a marriage to work, you have to be able to do that. So that's what I was considering hard work.
Yep. Okay.
Sorry, Dad.
Well, we got it right together. We agreed. Okay. Next one is time heals all wounds.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. I don't know the answer to this one.
Oh, boy.
Time heals all wounds. Okay.
Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Trash. Well, you put some thought into it.
Did.
So what's your thinking there?
Well, because I know that time helps
Yeah.
heal all wounds. It definitely does, but it doesn't take the pain away. There's still going to be pain. I think time makes pain more manageable. And time makes pain, I think you can't, okay, this is what I believe to be true. Time makes you see the faithfulness of God.
Okay.
In your pain.
Okay.
Because I don't think that God allows there to be pain that he's not going to use for our good. And so, but it does take time for that to happen. Like in James 1:3-5, it says, consider it pure joy. Consider it joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because it's helping produce your faith. But I don't think that things happen and we go, oh, this is joyful. It's painful. But over time, we can see it as God intended, or he can use it and will use it for our good and his glory.
I look at it a lot like this, because it says time heals all wounds. And I do believe that there are some small wounds that you can just kind of overlook and let time heal it. Just like with you think about any injury that you have, okay? You cut your finger, all right? You stump your toe. There's little things like that they just hurt for a bit, but you just kind of, you can literally not do anything about it and let them just heal on their own. But there's also wounds that are bigger than that. And if you just say, I'm just not going to worry about it, time's not going to heal it. It's going to get worse.
Or it's going to heal broke.
Right.
Like if you break your arm.
That's right. Or it's going to get infected.
That's right.
And so there's real intentional effort to heal some of the wounds as time is also doing its part.
Sure.
But if you just go, oh man, I was
unfaithful and time will heal it.
Right. Time will heal it. Let's just ignore it and let time do its magic. And it doesn't work that way.
You're right.
So, all right. Okay, here's one.
Number next.
Forgive and forget. 1, 2, 3. Trash.
We've only missed one. Are they all trash?
We said truth.
Oh, yeah, we said truth.
You said truth twice. Okay, so, we feel pretty strongly about this because, to be honest, it's impossible for humans to forget some things. And also, it's not healthy to forget some things. I think that there's some transgressions against you that if you forgot them, then you didn't learn anything. And so many things that we go through in life, you have to forgive, but you don't want to forget what happened, because there's something there for you to learn. There's something there for the other person to learn. There's something for your relationship to learn. So I think it's very important that you don't forget it.
Yep. And I think the person who did in our situation, the person who did the betraying, like the betrayer, has a tendency more to want to forget. Because it's like, if I can just forget I ever did that, then things would be better. And then the person who was betrayed has a lot harder time forgetting. But I ask God on a regular basis to remind me, because it reminds me of my need for him. Because if I just forget what I did, and then I forget the new person that I am and who made me that way.
Yep.
So if you're the person that's like, oh gosh, I just wish I could forget, or maybe I've forgotten and my spouse hasn't, then, think, like, what is the benefit in forgetting? I mean, you can, get rid of the shame and the guilt if that happens, but it also puts you right back in charge of your life, which is what got you in trouble in the first place. Yeah. But on this same note, can I take a minute to preach that Jesus says that our sins are cast as far as the east is to the west, and that we are washed white as snow in his forgiveness. And when he forgives, he forgets. And so we don't have that capability
right.
as
We're
humans.
Not God. That's right.
And so, you don't use that over your spouse saying, yeah, well, I'm never going to forget. I mean, it's not a negative thing. It's just a reminder. I had a friend come up this morning asking for prayer in church that just something happened in their family, nothing with their marriage, but something happened in their family that just was a reminder of the faithfulness of God. And sometimes scary things and bad things happen, and you realize real quick you're not in control at all. Mm-hmm. But it's a moment for us to choose and say, God, you're in control. I still trust you, and I am choosing to remember your faithfulness. So I just think that even though we don't forget, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, here we go. Next one. Don't keep score. 1, 2, 3. Truth. All right.
I said true. It's truth. Sorry.
I did that last time.
Okay.
Okay, so we agree that you don't keep score. I also, there's, each one of these has some elements that you can pick apart and go, where I think that with this one, the part that I would pick apart would be there does have to be accountability in some areas. And so, to say that, I think that a lot of this goes back to the whole 50-50 thing too. And, if you're giving 100%, 100%, 100%, and your spouse is giving 0, at some point there has to be some accountability. Yeah. It's not that there's a score sheet and you're going, well, I did the dishes 4 times this week and you haven't done it at all, that kind of thing. But I do think there has to be some accountability of, we're in this together. This is a team. So there's some things that that you need to pick up the slack and start doing some stuff. But it's when I serve, I'm not serving so that I can measure how many times I serve.
Or be served back.
Right. And so that's where I think the whole don't keep score. I think the healthier thing is to try to outserve your spouse and always want to. So in that sense, if you're keeping score, you always want to be as far ahead as you can be, but not because your spouse is doing nothing. It's just you want to outdo them.
And I think it's okay to say, hey, I'm really feeling the weight of a lot of this stuff by myself, but not, hey, I've bathed the children every night for 3 weeks. It's your turn. Yeah. That's very specific and keeping score-ish, but it's like, gosh, I feel like I'm doing a lot of the load here and I need help. Yeah. I think is a good way to word that. And also, I'm gonna be honest, there's some things that, like really big things, like infidelity or I've lost the word, addiction, things like that can really damage your marriage, that we're not saying ignore. Like if those are things that are repetitive and you've said, hey, I've given you several chances for redemption here and it's not happening, that's a different kind of scorekeeping.
Yeah. I don't think that's really, I agree. Those things are not on a scorecard. Those things are completely.
That's right. And I just felt the need to say that.
No, that's good. All right. We got 2 more.
Okay.
Choose your battles.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Like which ones you're going to fight? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Choose your battle. Like which ones you want to bring to the table?
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, haven't you heard that advice before?
Yeah. Like choose your battles. Like
if somebody's giving you that advice before, you're like, oh, thanks. I don't care what in the world you're saying because I don't even know what you're talking about. I mean, you've heard it, right?
I have, but look, if I'm fixing to say truth or trash, I got to understand the question. And I haven't read these before. You've read them.
Okay.
You've read them. Don't be mean. Okay, hold on. What was the question? Choose your battles.
Choose your battles.
Okay.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Truth. All right. I figured you were going to say that.
Sorry.
Hey. Hey.
Were you going to say false? I mean, trash?
No.
Oh,
But
okay.
again, there's a part of this that I can
Okay.
pick apart
Okay,
too,
I
because no, I do believe that there are certainly things that you could and should and can overlook in your marriage. There's just things that there's no reason, like, we talk about being so open and honest and communicate, but there's just some stuff that you just let it go because it's not important enough to, I guess, battle over. And most of the time when you stop and think about it, you go, that's really not something that's wrong with them. That's something that's wrong with me. And I'm bringing up something that's wrong with me, and I'm pointing it out in them. And so you're doing some deep thought over there. But I think the biggest thing is that where I would say this is trash is you don't overlook things that need to be addressed in your marriage. And you definitely need to be open and honest and communicate vulnerably to where you're not overlooking things that could potentially become bigger problems somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
But tell me, because you're just thinking.
No, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Well, I'm just thinking about there are things that probably bother you about me.
That's right. Okay, so let me jump in. This would be something that I would say would be something that you just overlook, because why would you bring something like this up? Okay, maybe a silly example. But let's just say we're doing the laundry, or you've done the laundry, and one of the shirts that I would normally hang up, you folded it. Now, I mean, could I say, hey, I usually hang this one up? Yeah, I could. Or I could just be like, why am I just...
She did the laundry.
She did the laundry, and
just go
I'm
hang it up.
so thankful. Or what if you fold the socks differently than I fold the socks, I'm not going to go... But that's because I could just go...
Okay, let's go a little deeper.
All
Ready?
right, here we go.
Nose hair.
Okay.
Okay. So I could...
I'm poking nose hairs back up into my nostrils.
Okay. But see, what I'm saying is a shirt hanging up doesn't...
I didn't say that you're supposed to overlook everything.
I know. I'm just asking. Hey, easy on the podcast. Okay. So, no. I'm asking. Like, I understand. Okay. Listen. I didn't have the volume up very heavy. Okay. So, here is my question. Stop pushing the button. Okay. Here's the question. I agree with you on the folding up things, like your socks are folded wrong, or I accidentally folded a shirt you hang up. That's easy to overlook. But what if it's somebody's like, hey, you have nose hairs sticking out. I feel horrible saying that, but I'm trying to keep other people from looking at you and them saying, gosh, she doesn't love him enough to tell him to freaking cut his nose hairs or zoom them or whatever you do to him. So there are some things that are easy to overlook, but then I'm like, do I really want to do a battle over nose hairs? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so
that's all in the approach of it. I mean, it'd be the same thing as if the...
But it feels picky when I say, hey, you might want to trim your nose hairs. I feel like that's picking. And I don't like to pick at you, but you say I do that sometimes.
We're talking about picking and nose hairs and nose.
Not like that. Like picking at you. Like, oh, you need a haircut, or oh, you need to do this, or, different things like that. Like sometimes that little piece right there. And then it's like, I'm just constantly picking, and I don't want to do that. But I also don't want other people to go, why doesn't she love him enough to tell him? Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm asking. We got derailed here. Is that a battle worth battling?
Well, is it a battle?
Okay.
Like,
I see what you're saying.
I mean, Do I get defensive and fight you
No,
when you
but
tell me?
sometimes I feel like you get defeated. Like, gosh, I have long nose hair or whatever.
All right, we're about to go there. Here we go.
Oh gosh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you going to say about me?
No, but I think that that's very different than you didn't fold the towel the way I want it folded. I mean, that has nothing to do with anybody except me.
Yeah,
and
that's
my
a little
preference.
bit of sleeping with the enemy.
Yeah, and like you didn't put the dishes in the dishwasher the way that I want them to be put in there.
Right.
Like, well, okay, then you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's different. It's not like, oh, wait, you want my nose hairs clipped? Then clip my nose hairs. Like, you
Right.
can't do that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's a
Okay.
Yeah, there's
I
a big-
just was trying.
there's a difference.
Okay. There's a difference.
So pick your battles. And I don't know that the one you just picked right here on the podcast was really worth it.
Maybe we should edit that part out.
Okay, here we go. The next one. Man, I know the answer to this one. The honeymoon phase won't last. 1, 2, 3. Truth.
Trash. That's trash. It lasts forever. It is the
it
best.
didn't. It just ended about 15 minutes ago, to be real honest. Oh, goodness. No, this one I can certainly pick apart because, well, here, I mean, I do want people to understand that the way that you feel when you get back, or when you're on your honeymoon and you get back from your honeymoon, that doesn't last. Like, it just doesn't. Do you want to redo this one? The question is, the honeymoon phase won't last. 1, 2, 3.
True.
But I also don't agree with it. I really don't agree with it. You just made me so mad. I decided to be truthful, say truth. I don't agree with it because I really believe that the more you grow in your marriage and the healthier you are, that it's actually better than the honeymoon stage.
Which means the honeymoon doesn't last. It changes.
It does. It changes.
It changes. And
Okay.
yeah,
So it doesn't last.
No, that's a true statement.
It's
it
true.
doesn't last because it changes.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we have grown so much in our relationship since our honeymoon. You want it to change. You want it to be different. You want it to be better. I think that the connotation behind that statement is that it changes for the negative.
Yeah.
And I just think it gets better. I think
It can.
holy moly, can you walk through hard seasons?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, we've walked through the hardest of the hard, but we also, I wouldn't go back to our honeymoon phase for anything
Yeah.
because of the depth of love that I have for you.
Yeah. That's good. I don't know. The honeymoon was pretty great,
was
though.
pretty
I'd
fun.
go back there for a few minutes and then just jump back over here to this. So, okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And we got to go because I have a date with some nose hair clippers. And so, all right. Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. We love our listeners, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.